but it has a real chance to lower the cost of payments, or if somebody wants to remit something cross-border and not be charged 8 to 10% to send a money.
Unfortunately, what we've seen so far is regulation by enforcement, where the industry players don't know what the rules of the road are, and the SEC tries to clarify them through legal action. I think this is an attack on crypto innovation, and I firmly believe when the dust settles, Ripple will not only be on the right side of the law, but we will also be on the right side of history.
Security. And the SEC itself has said that assets can change their nature over time as they achieve utility and as they achieve decentralization. So
you take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
If you got a bag, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Foolishness. Shout out to the latest sub, Robert Melvin in the building. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Go ahead, throw on those pilot shades and buckle up, because the future's extra bright. And let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today right around 1.07 trillion, up about 0.5% in the past 24 hours. We got XRP in the number 7 spot, 34 cents, up about 0.7% in the past 24 hours. We got BTC, 21,400. We got ETH, 1,600. And we have Stellar XLM, 11 cents, up about 1.3 in the past 24. Taking a look at altcoin season, we're still up here, barely above the altcoin season at a 76, altcoin season 75, but we are starting to come back down here for altcoin season. John Deaton says, wake up, a war against crypto has been declared on December 22nd, 2020. From day one, I said allegations versus XRP were dangerous because the same applies about all other alts, including Bitcoin. Then the SEC filed the case versus Library, making similar claims about the Library coin. Read this allegation against Dragon Chain. Now remind me BTC number 1 distinction. Dragon Chain also capped the number of dragons that could ever be created. XRP Yoda, 8/21/2022, the digital euro ahead of the digital euro, public digital euro working group recommendations, digital euro association. Welcome to the mass adoption of cryptocurrencies. Riz XRP says, hey, Vitalik Buterin, take some notes. A great example of true leadership speaking for the whole space of crypto. Big brag, Garland House.
Sitting here in the United States, it's interesting the U.S. really has been a laggard on the global stage for crypto regulation. If you followed this closely, I said when the SEC first sued Ripple that I think it's become increasingly obvious to the entire market that the SEC lawsuit impacts all of the crypto and fintech industry here in the United States, not just Ripple. Despite what some in the current U.S. SEC claims, we do not have a clear framework for how consumers and businesses can utilize these technologies. Unfortunately, what we've seen so far is regulation by enforcement, where the industry players don't know what the rules of the road are, and the SEC tries to clarify them through legal action. I think this is an attack on crypto innovation, and I firmly believe when the dust settles, Ripple will not only be on the right side of the law, but we'll also be on the right side of history. And our case is moving fairly quickly in the comparison with typical federal cases. We've won some important rulings, really calling to account and forcing the SEC to be more transparent about their policies and their deliberations and their internal rules. I think this clarity is good for the entire industry. I'm hopeful, despite the SEC's efforts to slow things down, that we'll keep the court case moving quickly and we can get closure and clarity for Ripple and for really all of the XRP community.
John Deaton says, when the summary judgment motions are public, we will see evidence we are currently unaware of, including testimony from Brad Garland House, Christian Larson, Joe Katz, and former Ripple employees. It includes testimony from Hinman and other SEC officials. I predict we also see why it's so important that XRP holders be heard. Will the SEC specifically argue the token itself is the embodiment of all the promises and efforts made by Ripple starting in 2012 and continuing today, and therefore all XRP are securities? Gary Gensler literally described XRP's use case. Gary knows what's coming.
I would also say the blockchain technology, not the cryptocurrencies, the blockchain technology is already being looked at and used on Wall Street to help lower the cost of their back office. They haven't fully adopted. It's not big enterprise solutions yet, but it has a real chance to lower the cost of payments, or if somebody wants to remit something cross-border and not be charged 8 to 10% to send a MoneyGram or Western Union remittance back to a foreign land.
XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP is the number one in the top 10 current trending searches. XRP. Are we in the twilight zone? Nerdy Nation Unboxed.
We could have extended Ripple to include more smart contract capabilities, just like Bitcoin could be extended to include more smart contract capabilities. But then the problem would be, what if you want a smart contract that interacts with both Bitcoin and Ripple, or interacts with Bitcoin, Ripple, and some other system, like things in the real world?
Okay.
It made more sense to develop a new platform, we think.
So does that mean that you started to integrate smart contract capability within Ripple, but then you did it as something independent?
That's exactly right. And that's
Okay.
that's what Codius is.
So let's talk about Codius. Codius, what is the purpose of Codius? I read the white paper also. It says it's smart oracle. So it's going to be a node within the Ripple network, or a node independent between networks, that is going to be connected to the real world, absorbing information. And it will also have smart contracts on it.
Right. And the important thing is that it can interact with systems like Bitcoin and Ripple, which means you can have an agent that no one person can control that can manage funds according to rules that are agreeable to a number of people. It's essentially an attested hosting platform so that you can run software in a very secure way, so that more than one person can trust that that system will follow the rules that they've agreed on.
Anyone think Codius was too important to abandon? Recall Ripple did not want to risk performance issues on the XRP ledger by adding a smart contract layer, but instead opted to keep it ultra lean on payments. Codius would make a great candidate to dev and deploy on Polysite network. Thoughts? David Schwartz, another biggest difference, perhaps one of the most important, is that Codius can keep secrets while Ethereum can't. That means Codius can, for example, control a Bitcoin wallet while an Ethereum smart contract can't. Codius is already scalable, built on the Interledger protocol, sidechains, or API plugin, would allow XRP's settlement. Codius, scalable smart contracts built on the Interledger. James Drill XRP, the SEC is refusing to give up the Hinman speech drafts, XRP lawsuit. SEC doubles down on the bid blocking Ripple from obtaining the evidence. We got the evidence, get those jumpsuits, and get those gel cells ready. Riz XRP wondering what Michael Barr thinks about XRP, the standard.
Brian, speaking of Ripple, you worked at Coinbase, you worked in the government, albeit for under a year. So tell us, is XRP a security, yes or no?
Well, these are complicated questions and matters of pending litigation, so who can say? But here's what I would tell you, though, which I think is the most important issue about XRP, and that is there is a difference, okay? There's a difference between the way in which an asset is distributed and the nature of the asset at a given moment in time. And I think the issue in Ripple that gets lost in all of the discussion is whatever happened in the original distribution of XRP tokens, 10 years ago, and whether that was or wasn't an unregistered securities offering, that's what the courts will decide. That's a different question from whether XRP today is a security. And the SEC itself has said that assets can change their nature over time as they achieve utility and as they achieve decentralization. So if I had to make a prediction, I'll just make a quick prediction, and that is that there is a settlement to be done here somewhere. And the settlement has to do with the distribution of the tokens so that existing token holders can continue to trade them and find value in them the way that they do.
CoinDesk, a new UK bill could bring digital assets like stablecoins into the scope of local payment regulation. UK crypto industry welcomes new stablecoin rules, awaits guidance. Cowboy Crypto, I think a lot of people at the time had this view. I think that they would consider it naive today, that proof of work would just be a sort of decentralizing force, the secret sauce behind Bitcoin. It just can't be that liberating, decentralized force that we all thought it was, because now we have the new standard, XRP.
I think a lot of people at that time had this view that I think we would consider naive today, that proof of work would just be a sort of decentralizing force. That proof of work was the secret sauce behind Bitcoin, the thing that made it different, the thing that made it better. And the crack in that narrative, and it's obvious today, is that there are people who have cheaper power than other people, and there are people who have access to better ASICs than other people, and that it just can't be that sort of liberating, decentralizing force that I think we all thought it was. And that's why we started working on a different way of coming to consensus, a different method. And we developed Federated Byzantine Agreement, which is the method that powers the XRP ledger, leads to its reduced energy consumption, and gives it some of the properties that it has, the speed and the consistency.
XRP Phoenix begins tomorrow. How can this be? So it begins. Mickey B. Fresh, this is what we all been waiting for, folks. This is just not about an airdrop. It's also about launching of a decentralized EVM Layer 1 batch token distribution to the XRP army. 2, cutting-edge differentiators with superpowers like nothing else. FTSO and state connectors will be strong live at the launch of Flare. Token distribution event upon exiting observation mode. Government's proposal. FTSO, a stake connector, fully live and available for devs from day one. Enriched developer experience with F assets and layer cake. Coming soon. Get those bags packed, locked and loaded. David Schwartz replying to one of these threads here. He says there is no way to block an account on the XRP ledger. If you ran your own node and submitted transactions to it, they would succeed. I wonder whose node your wallet software is using and if they use custom code to block transactions. He responds, it was the xrpcluster.com. Now I switched to s2.ripple.com and everything works. Thanks again for the clarification and I apologize for the trouble. James Rule XRP, don't let the banks fool you. Accessing companies at the forefront of blockchain innovation. They know what's coming. We know what's coming, and they can't stop it. Stephen Thomas, formerly of Ripple. We've had our very good interactions with the Ethereum team on potentially working together. All the world's a stage, for sure.
And I think Ethereum is like a big step in the right direction because it's much closer to how people are used to writing software. The only concern I would have with that is it's still deterministic, right? So you still can't make an HTTP call directly out of an Ethereum contract. So it still requires this other piece, this middleware layer to connect to. And I think in that sense, like Ethereum and Codius are really complementary because Codius doesn't really work if you don't have some sort of ledger or data store blockchain that you can store your data in. And Ethereum doesn't really work if you don't have something to talk to the outside world. So I really see those systems as very complementary. And we've had really good interactions with the Ethereum team on like potentially working together and kind of exploring that interaction better.
Dark Defender, hi all. XRP continues sideways between 30 cents and 38 cents. Watch close. These levels sideways are boring, but they are the messengers of the new move. Daily and weekly charts are optimistic. However, monthly indicators are still waiting the green signal. XRP moves late, but the best is still yet to come. And with that being said, Bagman and Bag Ladies, Bitcoin was just a prototype. XRP is the new standard. Only a handful will understand this. Tag a BTC Maxi.
Now, we build upon a tech stack of an open source technology called XRP. XRP originally was built by some engineers who had seen some of the flaws of Bitcoin and the challenges of scalability around Bitcoin.
Bitcoin doesn't work, but now we have the new XRP standard. First, we had the Internet of Information, and now we have the Internet of Value running on the XRP ledger. Cheaper, faster, more efficient. No middleman snatching up those fees. Where will you be when that rocket takes flight? We'll catch you up here at the tippy top. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander, currently up here on the mothership, stuffing some bags and enjoying the show. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing those likes for some more Moon O'Clock news. Hope y'all continue to stay extra bullish out there. Continue holding those good vibes. Remember to sell the FUD, buy up that bag, and don't forget to spread that liquid love. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to drop a subscribe, drop a comment down below. All the OGs, drop a comment down below, and drop an elbow on that like button from the top roof, and we'll catch you up here top floor for the moon party. BYOB, peace out, crypto ghosts.
Party on the moon, and I know you heard the boom. Why she want my bags now? Hey, why she want my bags now? There's a party on the moon, and I know you heard the boom. Why she want my bags now? Why she want my bags now? Hey.
Today is a day, so let's moon party. Looking good and jaw dropping, never cocky.